Alright. Alright, now I am recording. Hi everyone, I am Chimerlord15, and welcome to my class on reported speech, which is in my opinion one of the most useless grammar rules out there. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm just going to give it to you guys straight. I think this is a pointless thing to keep in mind, but I will teach it anyway because some people are going to be tested on it, so... yeah. Hi kitty cat, and everyone else. Giga Chat teacher. I try. And sometimes fail, but I try. Anyway, so what exactly is reported speech? Can somebody give a definition of it in the chat? He said, she said. Yeah, in layman's terms. That's what she said. Yeah, that is what she said. You're right, that is definitely what she said. So I have some good answers here. It's when you make a statement about someone's question. That's part of it. A more general definition would be what Shelton said. To say something that someone said in the past. It's basically when you use a reporting verb like say or tell, and then whatever is in the subordinate clause or dependent clause, you make whatever tense, you change the tense of that clause to match the tense of the reporting verb, if that makes sense. So let me show you an example. Yeah, that's why it's called reported speech, because you're reporting someone's direct speech. Exactly, Jessica. Yeah, Percy's got the right idea. So, there are reporting verbs. Common reporting verbs are like... reporting verbs. Let's see. Say, tell, claim, etc. Whatever. So, you use those verbs in reported speech, sorry. Okay, so here's an example. Direct speech. Direct speech is when you don't have a reporting verb. So for direct speech, here's an example. I like ice cream. So reported speech, which does have a reporting verb, would say, she says that she likes ice cream. So let me boldface all the verbs here and italicize them. Direct speech, I like ice cream. Reported speech, she says that she likes ice cream. So we have a reporting verb here, which would be what? What would the reporting verb be there? Says. Yeah, exactly. It would be says. So in the subordinate clause, that is the part that says that she likes ice cream. That's what we call a subordinate clause. You have to change the tense of that to match the tense of the reporting verb, says. So since says is in the present tense, then like should be in the present tense too. One question, why is it not said? It can be, and I'll get to that in a moment. But right now I'm trying to focus on one tense at a time. So this is how you would do reported speech in the present tense. When your reporting verb is in the present tense. Okay, so she says that she hates herself. Oof. Okay, so here's another example. Not entirely golden wind. Hold on to that question, actually. Hold on to that question. We'll answer that later. Okay, so here's another example. In a reported speech, sometimes you'll have to change pronouns from I to he or she or whatever. It depends on the context. But here, this is pretty... Oh, what the heck? Can you guys still hear me? Okay, can you guys still hear me? Sorry, like, I don't know, Discord, like, just restarted for no reason. Like, it just crashed and restarted. I don't know why it does that. That's, like, the second time that's happened in my classes. Okay, but anyway. So, damn, now I have to retype my example. That's okay. Okay, so here's an example, another example of direct speech. Let's talk about... Sorry, hold on. Now, I'm going to do part of the answer here, and I want you guys to finish the rest. Okay, so here we have direct speech. So can you finish the reported speech sentence? He likes swimming would be direct speech. So reported speech would be, she says that. Yes, exactly. Oh, Denix App and Nevermore. Yo, let's go. My boys are here. Assuming that you are a male Nevermore. I'm not entirely sure. I don't want to assume your gender. Okay, you're a male. Okay, thank God. I did not want to be canceled on Discord. Okay, but yeah, it would be, she says that he likes swimming. Yes, exactly. Thank you, good sir. You're welcome, good sir. Yeah, we'll get to the other tenses in a moment. I'm trying to, like, not jump into the past tense, like, so quickly. Okay, so let's see. We'll do one more example in the present tense. You the best. I know. No, I'm kidding. And somebody asks a question, do you always need to use that, as in the conjunction, the subordinating conjunction that? No, you don't always have to. Usually you can just omit it, but there are occasions where it would be better to put the pronoun in there. But it's something you just have to get a feel for. Usually you don't have to. Okay, okay, yeah, I'm trying to think of... Yeah, let me change this. Hold on. Okay, so here's direct speech. Here's another example. I want you guys to finish this one. Direct speech. They eat Chinese food a lot. Reported speech would be, he says that. Yeah, exactly. He says that they eat Chinese food a lot. Yeah, they eat Chinese food a lot. Exactly. Yeah, if you want to type just the rest, that's fine too. Is there always that in the sentence? No, you can omit it. In this case, as I said earlier, you can omit it. So you can say, he says they eat Chinese food a lot. You can omit the word that in these cases. That's fine. Okay, so you guys got it. Okay, so let's move on to... We're not going to go to the past just yet. Let's also talk about the present continuous as well, because this applies to the present continuous. So let's cover the present continuous really fast, and then we'll move on to the past simple and past continuous. Okay, so okay, is that optional? Yes, it's optional. Usually it's optional. Yes, he is eating is present continuous. So he eats would be present simple, and he is eating would be the present continuous, or present progressive, whatever. It does not matter in this case. So just so you guys know what the present continuous is. His voice is perfect. Oh, thank you. Okay, so I'm living in, hold on, let me just change this a bit. Direct speech. I'm probably just going to do this one example. I think you guys get the idea for present tense verbs. 报销. 报销. Okay, let me see here. Okay. And I'm just gonna... Okay, so direct speech. I'm living in London, or I am living in London. Okay, so reported speech would be, you say that. And I want you to use the pronoun you in the subordinate clause. English has basically 12 tenses, but I'm not going to cover all of them right now. Actually, technically I'm going to have to cover most of them, but only briefly, because they're not the topic of this class. Yeah, exactly. You say that you're living in London, or you say that you are living in London. No, the passive isn't really a tense, it's a voice. Like passive, it's passive voice. Okay, anyway, but yeah, you guys get it. Is it correct to say I'm living instead of I live? Yeah, actually you can, and that's exactly what I did here. I could have said I live in London instead, but I'm living in London is fine. If you're wondering what the difference is, like I'm living, it just means that you're placing a stronger emphasis on what's happening right now in the present. Like I'm living in London doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to stay there for a while. It just means that at the moment you're in London. Whereas I live in London, it just means that it's when you say I live in London, it implies that you've been living there, or that you're going to live there for a while. So that's the difference, if that makes sense. You speak so well, I understand almost everything. I thank you. I do. I really do thank you. You get a heart. Okay, so someone asked something here. Let me go look. Can't. Oh, well, never mind. Thank you. Okay. So, okay, what was I? Oh, right. So you guys get the idea. So if the reporting verb, sorry, if the reporting verbs, says, tells, claims, whatever. I've been using just says, but it really doesn't matter. Says, tells, claims, etc. Any verb where that's basically equivalent to said or says, then so so anytime you guys have those verbs in the present tense, then the verb in the subordinate clause should usually be in the present tense as well. Okay. And the same goes for the present continuous. And you can also have a reporting verb in the present continuous as well, but I'm not going to bother providing an example. You guys get the idea. Because if the reporting verb were in the present continuous, then the verb in the subordinate clause would have to be either in the present simple or present continuous. But to make this lesson simple, I'm just going to have the reporting verbs be in the simple aspect. I'm not going to have continuous forms here, or perfect forms, or perfect continuous forms. Okay, so now let's talk about what you should do when you want to have the reporting verb in the past tense. Yeah, said is the past simple of says. It's the past tense. Okay. Okay, so let me go ahead and type up this example. Okay, so here's another example. So direct speech would be I like ice cream. So here we have the reporting verb. I keep saying reported verb. The reporting verb here would be said, and it's in the past tense this time. So naturally, the verb in the subordinate clause would have to be in the past tense as well. I like ice cream. She said that she liked ice cream. So if the reporting verb is in the past, then the verb that comes after it, somewhere in the sentence, should also be in the past. What's the difference with the first one? It's just a matter of tense. That's really it. So you can say she says that she likes ice cream, or she said that she likes ice cream. So really, either works. It's just a matter of tense. She said that he likes ice cream, or she said that she likes ice cream. You can say that, but there are times where you can actually just ignore this rule and just use the present tense in the subordinate clause. But usually you would just change the tense. So yes. So for now we're just going to change the tense. Okay. I know some people are DMing me, but I'm having class right now, so I cannot really answer those. Okay. So let's see. Oh, I should probably mention one other thing that might help some of you out. But hold on one moment. Okay, so apparently, who speaks Spanish here? Some of you speak Spanish, right? Okay, so you'll actually find that in Spanish, reported speech. Oh, what the hell? God damn it. Okay, hold on. This is really annoying. Okay, why is that in brackets? I put that in brackets. Well, I'm going to call them parentheses to indicate that it's optional. Okay, so, oh, yeah, thank you, Serenity. Yeah, well, yeah, sorry, guys, Discord, like, messed me up. But, so, apparently in as I was saying, so, for those of you who speak Spanish, in Spanish, reported speech actually works the same way as it does in English. So, let's go back and, hold on. Let me go back and... Oh, it works like that in French too? I don't know any French. Barely know any French, but... Anyway. But yeah, in Spanish, it works like this too. And... you literally just translated the sentence from... Here, let me take your sentence, actually. That saves me time. Okay, so... Okay, so... Yeah, you see, you guys are just beating me to it. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? Stop it. Stop it right now. No, I'm kidding. Okay. So... But yeah, as other people said, this is how you would translate the sentences in Spanish. Let me just... Because in Spanish, indirect speech... I forgot, reported speech is also called indirect speech. So... Here's how you... Yeah, in Spanish you have to use the pronoun that, because there's a reason for it. It's because Spanish can omit subject pronouns, so you can't really omit that in most cases, because that would just lead to an incomprehensible sentence. But in English it's fine, since we always use subject pronouns. But anyway, so for direct speech in English, I like ice cream. In Spanish it would be me gusta el helado. Reported speech would be, she said that she liked ice cream, which would be here, ella dijo que le gustaba el helado. So notice how we changed the tense from... So we changed it from gusta to gustaba. So we changed it from the present to the past. And in this case it would be the imperfective past, because in Spanish there are two different past tenses, the imperfective and the perfective, otherwise known as the preterite and imperfect. But here we use the imperfect because her liking ice cream, it's not something that ended at some point in the past. So it's just something that was ongoing at the time. So we changed this here. because of reported speech. It's the same thing, and it works the same way in Spanish. And another thing is that there was something I was just gonna say. Crap, I forgot. Damn. Okay. Crap, I forgot what it was. Yeah, apparently it works the same way in Portuguese, but I don't know Portuguese, so I can't provide any examples. I want to learn Icelandic at one point, but like, unfortunately, there aren't very many resources for it. Sad face. Okay, but there was something I was going to say. Oh, right. So, okay, so you notice that we had to change the verb here, gusta to gustaba, and like to liked. There's actually a phenomenon. This has a name. So what's this called when you change tense from the present to the past? What's that called? There's a name for it. Does anyone know what it is? Spanish is really similar to English. Yeah, in a number of ways. Oh, that's how you'd say it in Portuguese? Okay, okay, look at you. What's the question? Okay, so the question is, what is it called when you change a tense, when you change a verb from the present tense to the past tense in reported speech? No, gustaba is it's not the past participle. It's also the past simple. Remember, in Spanish there are two different versions of the past tense: gustó and gustaba. Backshift. Yes. See, you guys got it. Backshift. Let's go. Backshift. That's exactly what it's called. So we're backshifting the verb. So you can backshift in English and in Spanish, and apparently in Portuguese and French, but I don't know any Portuguese or French, so sorry. Backshift, yes. That's what it's called. So we're backshifting the verb. Okay, okay, here's another one. So here's another one. Here's another one. Let's do another example. Here's another example. And this time we're going to use an auxiliary verb. You know, like can, could, might, must, have, had, stuff like that. Okay, so okay. Okay, so here's a trick question for you. How do you how do you how do you change the tense here? So for direct speech, we have he can speak perfect English. In reported speech, what would that be? So you mentioned that. No, yeah, you guys got it. See, yeah, it should be could speak. Yeah. In this case, could is the past tense of can. In some cases, like this one, could is basically the past tense of can. So, yes, so it should be could speak. And again, to You could say spoke as well, but I wanted to show an example with auxiliary verbs. So if you want to use spoke and speaks, that works too. He speaks perfect English. She mentioned that he could speak. I mean that he spoke perfect English. Sorry. Okay. So going back to that example. Mind if I join in, Chi-Man, for a split second or two? Of course I might. No, you're fine. Just hold on. There's one more thing I want to type up before you join. Let's see. Okay, so how would you, to demonstrate, that this works the same way as in Spanish, I want you guys to take this, my Spanish speakers here, I want you guys to take this here and then translate into Spanish to show you that, again, the same concept works. So how would you backshift this verb in Spanish? So he can speak perfect English. She mentioned that he could speak perfect English. How would that be? How would that be translated in Spanish? I mean, if some of you don't know, it's fine. I'm just asking anybody who knows Spanish. Close. For someone almost got it here. You need to change. Oh my fuck. I think Discord likes to piss me off. Yes, exactly. That's exactly how you would translate it. Oh, crap. Like, some of you are close, but you should change. It should be ella mencionó que él podía hablar inglés perfecto. So, it should be, like, you should change the puede to podía. I mean, I guess puede is not wrong. I'm just saying that, like, usually you would backshift it to podía. So that should be it. So that's how you would do it. Yes. So yes, that's how you would do it. So to translate the first one, to show that it works the same way in Spanish, and I can't really put a, here, hold on. I need to, hang on, there. Okay, there. Because I don't have I'm having trouble with accent marks on my keyboard. Okay, there we go. Norwegian. I'd love to provide an example in Norwegian, but I don't know any Norwegian. But yeah, that's how you would translate the example above. So you have to change puede to podía. So podía hablar. So that's how you would do it. Ooh, okay. You can do it in Norwegian? Okay, let's see. But yeah, let me just let him, let's see. Oh, I forgot. You actually don't have, you can just do it directly from the, there you go, hold on. There's a way to, literally forgot. There's a way to like invite someone directly from the chat. Oh, right click. Duh. Speaketh.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the cure to cancer. Oh, sorry. Hello.
Hey.
So, let me just do a quick Norwegian thing. So in English, we would have the sentence. We're going to use an irregular verb. Okay.
Okay.
So, I say I understand him. What would that be? Backshifted, class. What would that be there? Okay. C++ course. I mean, it's that easy, right? So I'm going to write it in chat here. So the question? Sure. So for this, we're going to use an irregular verb for the subordinate clause, right? So I say that I understand him. What would that be in reported speech? I don't understand anything about programming. Perfect. Everyone's doing great. Understood. All right, that's good. Okay, so half this chat's talking about computer languages and half of this is talking about reported speech. How do you do reported speech in Python? You don't. How do you do reported speech in programming? You don't. Anyway, so Norwegian. That's just I just want to give a little bit of exposure to my boy Norwegian. So, for example, you could say, I'm going to repeat the same thing in English and then in Norwegian. I say that I understand him. And then in Norwegian, that would be Jeg sier at jeg forstår han. Okay? Now, just like in English, Norwegian's word for understand, forstå, is an irregular verb. So you would say, for reported speech, jeg sa, which is the simple past of sier. Jeg sa. Now let me write this in chat first. And then in reported speech, that is jeg sa at jeg, because there has to be a relative pronoun, at jeg forstår han. So there's a little bit of a difference between the vowels here. So let me write this. Actually, I'm using different subject pronouns. So hun sier, which is she says. Parentheses. Okay, and then Chiman, you mentioned something about Icelandic, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not as well versed in Icelandic, but uh, I don't even remember the word for say. Um, I'll just use the word for speak then. So for wait, you're confused. Who's confused about what? Oh yeah, this is turning into a Norwegian lesson, huh? I apologize. We're gonna lose viewers by the millions. So I won't get into Icelandic. I'll save that for another time. I'm gonna give this back to Chi-Man. Uh, but before I do, I'm gonna say I think Chi-Man is a great teacher, and I want everyone here to say in reported speech what I just said. And then we're gonna screenshot that so everyone can congratulate him. Okay, good. He is a very competent teacher. He is. He is.
Thank you.
Hey, for sure, my dude. Okay, have a good session with the rest of this class.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you all so much for saying that. Oh, I love your comments. I know it is sweet. It's very sweet. I'm sorry. Like I'm trying. I didn't want. I'm just trying to like show examples of how this works in a few other languages so that you guys could understand this better. I don't mean to like turn this into a language lesson, a multi-language lesson. But don't worry, the class will be mostly in English. Okay, so I showed how it works, how this is basically the same in Spanish, and Will showed how this works the same way in Norwegian. So let us continue. Okay. Okay, so here's another example. Oh wait, you guys already did, we already technically did like another past simple thing. So let's go ahead and go on to ooh, okay. Now actually no, let me do one more example to make sure you guys understand backshifting to the past. And I'm not going to bother translating this one to Spanish because you guys get the point. Okay. Okay. So direct speech. The dog hates going for a walk. Well, with that being reported speech, he told us that yeah, exactly. Oh, Jazzy, you're here. Wait, yeah, it should be. Oh wait, no. Oh no, you got some of you guys got it right. Some of you guys didn't. I meant for you to change the tense of the second verb. So hate should be hated. I mean, hates is it's possible there. It's possible there, but I wanted you guys to change the tense. But if some of you got it right, maybe I didn't make it clear enough. I meant for you guys to change the tense. I meant for you guys to backshift. Hated does make sense if you think about it, because it's something. See, we backshift because of the verb, because the main verb, the verb in the main clause, is also in the past tense. That's just how the language works. But how do I explain this? Because it's like, because I get how it works, but like for some people, hated wouldn't make any sense. Because I suppose they think, oh, well, since it's in the past tense, then that action must be completed or whatever. But not necessarily. Past actions can be complete or incomplete. And in this case, hated is incomplete. It's imperfective. So, in that case, we'd have to, if we want to backshift, we'd have to change it to the past tense. But you can use hates as well. Hates is fine. There are times where you don't have to backshift, but usually you do. So hates is possible. Will said he hates the Danish language. I mean, the pronunciation is a nightmare, so I don't blame you. Okay. But yeah, if you don't think of the past tense as something that's completed, then hated does make sense. But so just get out of that mindset, because hated can be both completed or incomplete. Yeah, so it wasn't finished. And there's a similar example here. So okay, so here's one last example. I am British. I thought you blank American. So put this in the past tense. What should that be? I thought you were British. Yeah, it should be were. Were. I mean, so I thought you were American. So, see, that's the thing. Were is in the past tense, but I didn't stop being American, did I? So you can see that the past tense doesn't always refer to completed events. I am British. I thought you were American. How could British be American? Oh no, the speaker's just really stupid, that's all. Don't worry. But anyway. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, it should be were. So were in this case would be imperfective. But anyway, let's go on to reporting verbs. Stop saying that, T-Man. Reporting verbs. Let's go to reporting verbs in the past tense. So let me hold on. Actually, let me just do this. Now, ooh, crap. Okay, now here's a trick question for you. Some of you already know the answer to this, but here, I'm just gonna like test your knowledge. So here's a trick question. How would you backshift the verb the verb in direct speech if it's in the past tense? So how do you do that? Does anyone know? Direct speech, I bought a car. Reported speech, she said that he. So I see that a few people here got it right. Yeah, it should be had bought. Yes, exactly. Had bought. It should be had bought. So when the reporting verb is in the past tense, sorry, not the reporting verb. The when the verb in the indirect speech is in the past tense, then then you backshift it to the past perfect. I bought a car. She said that he had bought a car. So you have to change this verb to the past perfect. Oh, crap. Okay. So yeah, you have to change the past tense verb to the past perfect. Hold on, let me. Hold on, I'm trying to. Sorry, one moment. Oh, so that's how it would be in Norwegian? No, is that Icelandic? No, that's Icelandic, right? No, he's just providing examples in other languages. Okay. So to show again that Spanish works very much the same way, let me see this. Okay. Okay. Direct speech, I bought a car. Reported speech, she said that he had bought a car. Compré un coche. Ella dijo que él había comprado un coche. So that's how you'd backshift it in Spanish. So in Spanish it works the exact same way. So again, when you have a verb in direct speech that's in the past tense, you change it to the past perfect. Oh, you have to leave? Okay, bye. I will miss you. Although I'm not sure why I made the pronouns change there. They really should have been the same person. Sorry, let me fix that. It should be she said that she had bought a car. I don't know why I changed the. So yeah, she said that she had bought a car. Ella dijo que ella había comprado un coche. So yeah. So you guys get the idea. So that's the last example I'll bring up in Spanish. But yeah, see, the reported speech or indirect speech works the exact same way in Spanish. Okay. Okay. So Let's do another example. Okay. What about an example in Old English? I can't do that. I wish I could, but I can't. I can't even do Middle English. Okay. Direct speech. He was here. So how would you change that in reported speech? Yeah, she said that he had been here, or she said he had been here. If you want to take out the word that, that's fine. I don't care. I don't care. You can omit it. It's fine. I just keep it in there because I think it makes understanding these sentences a little bit easier, but you can take it out if you want. Yeah, she said that he had been here. Or there. Yeah, whatever. Either way, that's fine. Why do you have to say the past perfect? We just have to. It's a stupid rule in English and Spanish. You just do it. You just do it. It doesn't make a lot of sense. You just do it. Because honestly, there are times where I just flat out use the past tense. Sometimes I'll just say, she said she was here, instead of she said he had been here. There are times where I just don't care. But yeah, that's how you would do it typically. Yeah, direct speech, exactly what someone said. Reported speech, telling someone exactly what someone else said. Hence why it's called reported speech or indirect speech. So let me point that out. Reported speech and indirect speech are the same thing. There's two different names for the same thing, for the same grammatical concept. Ooh, okay. So here's another one. Let's add in a continuous form. Let's do that. Let's add some continuous forms. Okay. I was walking along the street. Sorry, direct speech. I was walking along the street. Indirect speech. He told us that he. Yeah, he told us that he had been walking along the street. Yeah, exactly. Nyan Chad. That should be your name. Nyan Chad. Yeah, he told us that he had been walking along the street. Yeah, you got it, Serenity. Oh wait, Norwegian doesn't have a continuous tense. Unfortunately, no, it doesn't. And neither does Icelandic, nor German, and a number of other languages. It's just I don't know why. I don't know why this is. It's literally just English that has a continuous tense aspect. Whatever. Like, it's just English. And Spanish and Portuguese, like, other languages don't have that. I don't know why. It's just us three. Sad face. Now my name is Nyan Chad. Oh, you actually went and changed it. Oh, okay. Okay. But yeah, I'm fine with either name. 9 Giga Chad. Yeah, he told us that he had been walking along the street. Yeah, you have to change the past continuous to the past perfect continuous. Past continuous progressive. to the past perfect. Continuous progressive. So you have to change it. So tense. I know. Just so tense. All these tenses make me tense. Okay. So. Ooh, okay. So you guys get the idea. So if you have a verb in direct speech in the past tense or the past progressive, you have to change that verb in reported speech or indirect speech to the past perfect or the past perfect progressive. Okay, so now let's do the present perfect. How about the present perfect? Let's do the present perfect. But before we do that, let me just test you guys out on your knowledge of tenses. So, oops, I missed the tense. Okay, so can you all conjugate this? What are the what were the 8 forms here of the verb to be? You could just type them out and like separate the answers by commas. You don't have to like copy what I put and then put the verbs at the end. You can if you want. It doesn't matter. So I'm just testing your knowledge of tenses really fast before I continue. Oh, I should probably specify. Just do first person. Do first person. Just do first person. Yeah, first person. Just do first person. So I. First person singular. So just do I. Why are there so many tenses? Because it's English. So conjugate for I. So for example, so I mentioned the first one. The present simple would be I am, and from there you guys can just continue. So that's one that's been done for you. English wolf. Oh, you almost have it. There's one. Check your fourth verb. I think you had a typo there. Yeah, you seem to have a typo there, so fix that. It's almost perfect. Hi Jazzy, what is up? Well, someone almost had it. Yeah, someone got it. Have been been, yes. So, let me copy what English Wolf put down, and these are the corresponding forms. So am is the present simple, am being is the present continuous, have been is the present simple, present perfect simple, sorry. Have been being is the present perfect continuous, was is the past simple, was being is the past continuous, had been is the present simple, past perfect simple. Did I say present continuous? I meant past continuous. Sorry. So was is the past simple, was being is the past continuous, had been is the past perfect simple, and had been being is the past perfect continuous. I look at you, Serenity, trying to conjugate for the pronoun thou. Thou art, thou hast, thou wast, thou what for the subjunctive. If only thou wert taller. If only you were taller. But anyway. The what pronoun? Thou. Which is older form. Which is like, in most English dialects, thou isn't used. It's an older form of you. It used to be the singular person, the second person singular, and you would used to be just the plural form, but now you is both the singular and the plural. So I like thou. You mean you like thee? No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. I get what you meant. Yeah, it's an archaic form of you. Ayo. So like, yeah, thou, English, which is similar to du in German or thu in Icelandic. It's the same thing. So, yeah. Oh, you have to go? Okay, bye. Thou, thee, thy, thine. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This is thine. This is mine, and that is thine. This is mine, and that is yours. How would you even use had been being? Oh, you'll see. You'll see. You'll see. Actually, no, you won't. Because that's the thing. Well, no, I could think of a context where you'd use it, but no, that would be going into to the subjunctive mood. Be in the indicative mood. I'm trying to think of an example where you'd use that in the indicative mood. Actually, you can. You can in reported speech. I'm trying to think of examples where you could use had been being. There are occasions where you can, but it's not something that you're going to use a lot because using the passive voice like that, it just sounds really, really ugly. Here's an old English example. Oh my God, I'm tired and want to go to sleep. You said that you were tired and wanted to go to sleep. Okay, so that's interesting. So that's how you would do it in Old English. Okay, so now that you guys know your tenses, let us continue. So, present perfect. Let's do the present perfect. Okay, so Direct speech. Oh, you have to leave? Okay, bye, Perry. Okay, so for this one, you have to backshift the verb in question to the past perfect. So direct speech. I haven't seen William. So what would the indirect speech form be? He said that he blank William. Yeah, exactly. Hadn't seen. So it should be. He said that he hadn't seen William. Yes. Hadn't seen. Hadn't seen. Yes. Good. Yes. Good. Waddles. Yes. Serenity. Yeah, pretty much almost everyone got it right. Okay. So. Okay, so let's do another example with the past perfect. No, with the present perfect. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, so I, me, my, mine is similar to thou, thee, thy, thine. That is mine, and this is thine. Okay. So direct speech. I've never been to Spain. Indirect speech would be she told me that she Oh yeah, that is a good point. So thou is equivalent to du in German. Thine is equivalent to dein or deine or deiner. Like there are multiple forms, but you get the idea. Thy is similar to dein and deine. And then thee would be similar to dia or dich. It depends. But anyway, yeah, it should be had never been. Yes. She told me that she had never been to Spain. She had never been. Yeah, she had never been to Spain. Yeah, exactly. Had never been. I think the reason for that Viper is that non-natives learn English according to more prescriptivist standards. Like they tend to learn the standard forms. I mean, standard English isn't necessarily prescriptivist, but and often isn't. But non-natives do tend to learn the standard forms. So of course they're going to be more grammatically correct in certain areas anyway. But yeah, had never been. She told me that she had never been to Spain. Okay. So that's the present perfect. So basically you change the present perfect to the past perfect. Change it, backshift it. Okay. So here's a trick question for you. How would you backshift the verb will? Like as a helping verb. How would you backshift will? Would. Yeah, exactly. So will speak should be what in reported speech? Would speak. Yeah, would speak. Exactly. So, are you okay, Chimaruler? Want some milk? Nah, I'm not really a fan of milk. Unless it's chocolate. Then, then of course. What about strawberry? Nah, mm-mm. Nah, screw that mess. No, we're not doing that. But anyway. Oh my god, stop. Okay. Why is my home key not working? Okay, well, whatever. Thou wilt not backshift, for thou art not my king. Oh, I would that it was so, for it is not. No, I'm kidding. Oh, you have to go. Okay, bye, English wolf. Okay, so how would you change this in indirect or reported speech? Direct speech, we will see you later. Indirect speech, they said that. They said that they would see me later. Yes. You guys are so smart. Thou wouldst see you later. Well, with those translation skills. Wouldst thou that thou wast loved? I can see it on thy face. Pathetic. No, I'm totally kidding. Sorry, I had to bring out my inner Shakespeare. Oh, it's okay, Nyan Chad. Giga Chad. Okay. So let's see. This is more or less a direct translation, by the way, not very accurate. That's okay. But yeah, you guys get the idea. They said they would see you later. Okay. So, let me make sure. Okay, good, yeah. Okay, we already said that can would change to could. We already said that. So for can, you'd have to change it to could. So can work would be could work. So I already mentioned can and could, so we're not going to cover that. So will it would be changed to would, can would be changed to could. And you're probably wondering, oh, okay, so maybe shall should change to should. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. No. See, we don't really use should as a past tense of shall anymore, so it's just no. Right? It's like, okay, so maybe shall should change to should. No, it doesn't at all. But But let me see. Okay, so what about would, could, and should? So what if you just have would, could, and should as the verb in direct speech? Would, could, and should. So what should you do with those? What did they change to? It's a trick question. What did they change to? Yeah, they remain the same. Exactly. Ha! You got it. Yes. They don't change. Exactly. They don't change. So yeah, would, could, and should would still be would, could, and should. So would, could, and should learn should be would, could, and should learn. They change. They stay the same. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Vile kune skule. What? What even is that? I love that image. Dolores restaurant. Dolores restaurant. And it's like, no, it's just restaurant. Restaurants. Okay, I'm not going to bother providing examples. You guys get the idea. Would, could, and should would stay the same. Oh, what about might? What about might? What do we do with might? What do we do with might? What do we do with it? It doesn't change, exactly. It does not change. It does not change. So might work would be changed to might work. Well, it wouldn't change really. So in direct speech, might work would be changed to might work in indirect speech, so it wouldn't change at all. Now, what about must? What about must? So, for example, must change. What do we change that to? Must. Must. Yeah, exactly. Must change. So it doesn't change. Exactly. Yeah, it doesn't change. So, although there is another form you can use. So you could technically say must change. So for must change, if you have must change, as in, like, if that's the verb in direct speech, then you can change it to, you could keep it the same, or you could change it to had to change. So you can say must change and had to change. You can use either. So must change can be must change, or it can be had to change in indirect speech. So you can use either. Now, what about may? I'm trying to look for may. I don't know. I think, let me check something. Oh, okay. So with may, what do you do? So I found the answer. So with may, how do you change that? How do you change that? Yeah, might. Yeah, might. As some of you have already guessed, yeah, it's might. Might be might. Might be. It might be might. It may be may, it might be might. It could be could, but would it be would? It should be should. But anyway. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. May, June, July, August! Anyway. The only thing I know how to say in Icelandic is good morning. Góðan daginn. Góðan daginn. Good day. Guten Tag. Góðan daginn. You said it wrong. Shut up! You're hurting my feelings! No, I'm kidding. I probably am saying it wrong. Invite me now. Invite me now. Invites accepted. Given. Whatever.
Hey, can you believe this loser G-Man mispronouncing that?
How dare you!
Sorry.
No, you're good.
You did kind of pronounce that a little bit incorrectly. So, like, a lot of the sounds for those two words are actually reduced in speech. So, instead of like Golden Dawn, that's actually it. It'd be Golden Dawn or a Dane, depending on the accent. So, for like, are you using that like as a greeting?
Yeah.
Okay, so for a greeting, there are actually two words you would use depending on if the recipient is male or female. So you would say sæl or sæl.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah. So sæl, which is pronounced like this. Sæl or sæl, because two L's can pronounce a TL sound.
Oh.
All right, so I'm just gonna keep myself muted. I'm listening to some awesome music, so but I of course have our glorious teacher in the forefront.
Thank you.
Yes. So anytime you need a Icelandic Norwegian translation, if you would ever need that, just let me know.
I will.
I know you really don't. Nobody does.
That's okay. We don't. We do.
Man, I wish I learned languages that were important.
Right? I'm gonna go learn Esperanto. Anyway. But, let's see. Yeah, I do want to learn Icelandic one day.
Wrong language. Það mjög erfitt að læra. Held ég.
What does that mean?
So that means, so það mjög erfitt means that is very difficult. Tungumálið, which is language, I'm not sure how familiar you are with Norwegian, but you attach definite articles as a suffix to the noun.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then að læra is the infinitive. Að is like to, and then læra is the infinitive of learn, and then heldur ég is I think or I opine.
Huh.
Man, I'm a nerd.
Hey, so am I.
Yeah, true.
You didn't have to agree with me. No, I'm kidding.
All right, I forgot. No. You go to the mall every day, and you know, you go with like billion friends. Right. For sure. I have never gone to the mall.
I rarely go to the mall.
Yeah, be like that.
Okay. What was I going to? Oh yeah. So, I think we covered. Okay, there's one more I want to cover actually. So, what if the verb in direct speech is in the past perfect? What would that change to? Does anyone know? What would had spoken change to in indirect speech? Had spoken, no change, they're the same. Yeah, exactly. You guys all got it. It's the same as with would, could, and should, and might. So yeah, they all stay the same. So had spoken would be had spoken. And the same would go for the past perfect continuous. So had had been speaking would be had been speaking. So again, they both stay the same. So here's my final. Yeah, see, the more you learn about this stuff, the more you'll get a feel for what the perfect forms ought to be. So, grammar is intuitive. Yeah, exactly. Which is why I recommend that if you want to learn grammar effectively, learn it in context, because the more you learn it, the more you'll be able to infer what else you can do in the language and what else you can't do. So, just keep that in mind. Had spookin'. Good question, Will. Good question. So what would this sentence be in indirect speech? So direct speech, I had taken English lessons before. Indirect speech, he claimed that yeah, exactly, had taken. He claimed he had taken. He claimed that he had taken. Either way, he claimed that he had taken English lessons before. Yeah, you just keep it as it is. I think I've covered just about everything in indirect speech or reported speech. Oh, and another thing, apparently according to this article I'm reading, may in direct speech can change to might or could in indirect speech. Apparently could also works. I would change it to might, but you can apparently change it to could as well. I mean, you can keep the pronouns the same. You can say I claimed that I had taken English lessons before too. It really doesn't matter. I just chose he because I wanted to refer to someone else. I think in that case, Jazzy, you could just keep might have done it. Because might have done it and could have done it means slightly different things, so I would just keep that the same. But that's just me. Okay. I think that about covers. Yeah, this wasn't going to be a very long lesson, but I believe that about covers all of the verbs. Oh, right. I forgot. So there's ought to as well. So ought to attend. What would that be in reported speech?
Don't forget the archaic dare.
The what?
Dare. That used to be an auxiliary verb.
Oh, that's right. What would that be in reported speech?
I'm pretty sure just the simple past, right?
That's what I think it's just a simple past.
Yeah. I had to learn that because apparently Norwegian still does that on occasion, and it's really weird.
That is weird. 'But it makes sense. 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 Yeah, it should be auto attend. You guys are right. So auto attend would stay the same. So let me cover their attend. So their attend would be what? If you wanted to back shift it. He said he dared attend. Yes. Although the thing is that, as Will just pointed out, like, that's not really you're not likely to hear that in English. So, but that's how you'd backshift it. Because dare in this case is functioning as an auxiliary verb. So it's similar to must or should or whatever. Yeah, so dare attend would be dared attend.
The more I'm looking at it, the more I'm realizing that I'm not sure if it's just my influence of modern English, but I feel like I would say would not dare or would dare. But I
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Wouldn't dare, like wouldn't dare attend or whatever. That would sound better to my ears.
yeah, but I'm not sure if that's just because that's influence of modern English and the fact that dare hasn't been used as an auxiliary verb for like 300 years.
Good point.
In fact, we don't even use ought to that much anymore.
Yeah, I honestly don't use it. So I rarely hear it nowadays. So yeah.
Yeah, I could probably name maybe like I probably say it about once or twice a year.
Yeah. Let's see. Mm.
I think we should bring back dare, though. It sounds so ominous.
Right? It does.
Like if you answer incorrectly, you're going to be whipped or something. You're going to be flayed alive.
Right? You dare defy me? Penalty.
Exactly. Like somebody who says that to you, you know you're dead. Like it's just a fact of life.
Okay, I think
Pog. They want me to say Pog. What's next? You want me to turn on my camera and say Pog and Pog on screen? I'm not doing that.
Right. But yeah, I think that's dare. I mean, you'll hear it occasionally, but like this, for the most part, people just don't really use it. People will just often say you dare to, and then whatever the base form of the verb is in question. You dare to betray me? Instead of you dare betray me? You dare oppose me, mortal? Boy, I'm a demigod. You shut up. No, I'm kidding. Norwegian pog. German pog. Ooh, hast du ein Poggers? No, I'm kidding. But anyway. You dare me? Again, you dare me? Okay, I ought to say poggers before I go. What? Poggers? I am a full god copium. What does that even mean? Oh, I see we have a staff member here. Caught red-handed. Caught in 4K. No, I'm kidding. I mean, I really don't mind Will's comments, but anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, I think that's all. I think that's everything. We covered modal verbs. We covered tenses for reported speech. And I will provide links as well. Let me just do that right now. So I have 3 links. Actually 4, because I'll include a link that does that mentions how reported speech works in Spanish. So link 1. Yeah, and let me pin it as well. So link 1, link 2. Let's see. 1 and 2. Buckle my shoe. 3, 4. Shut the door. Let's see. For 5, I'm gonna strive. 6, 7, I'm in heaven. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. They're all cringing. If you're all done cringing, no, I'm kidding. And then there's the 5th link. No, there are only 4 links I have. Okay, never mind. Huh. Okay. Okay, let me just pin this. Yeah, go to join staff. There's a channel called join staff. Hashtag join staff. Hashtag join hyphen staff, I should say. Okay, let me post this and pin it. Let me pin it. I shall pin it. Pin that thing. Pin it. And let me remove all these embeds because I don't care about embeds. Anyway. Okay. We did it, guys! We made it through the lesson! Pog! Yeah, I want you to be a teacher, Will. I think you'd be good at it. Will Pog. Pog Will. Pog! Thanks for the Spanish version. You are welcome. You are said welcome. But yeah, reported speech works the same way in Spanish and Portuguese. So, and French, apparently. But yeah. So, hopefully those links help you. Where's the Norwegian version? I wish I knew. But I mean, you could always type up something for people here. It's like, oh, cool, let me just do it in Norwegian. Thank you, Chi-Man, for still being here. You're welcome. Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. I'm sorry, I just love that theme song. Bruh, I'm sorry. I know, Golden Girls. Oh, I love it. But anyway, that is the end of the lesson. Oh, and before I go, there's one joke I shall end with a really cringeworthy joke. If you're a math nerd, you'll understand this joke. I'm tired. Are you? You should be. I mean, that's not a different language. It's just some really, really weird. What kind of punctuation? What is all of that? Okay, so here's the joke. And there's actually a shirt that has everything except for the last sentence. Holy shit! Look at the asymptote on that mother function! All those curves! Oh! Okay, I'm sorry. I'm done. I had to say it. I had to say it. Bruh, I know I know you're all like cringing violently at this moment. You forgot the homework, teacher. Oh, right, that student would get like stoned with paper balls. But anyway, everyone is like, "Gee, man, I cannot believe you said that." I did. I am sorry. F for my mentally fallen comrade. But I'm sorry. I feel ashamed now. But yeah, that's the end of the lesson, everyone. Let me just go ahead and stop recording before I make people cringe even more.